Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Goated Mafia Report. I'm Dman. Introduce yourself, guys.
It's yours truly, Mr. Guy, the realest man in the room at all times. You already know how we do this. We back for another week.
All right, I
And
am.
me and Vince are here with a very special guest. It's Steelers Week. Who else than the biggest Steelers fan we know to be on the show? Introduce yourself.
All right, I am. I'm Luke, that Steelers guy. The winning team this week is in this call. Since we play each other, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
You never know. There could be a tie.
I highly doubt that.
All right, guys. So before we get into the Steelers matchup, let's recap a little bit of the Baltimore Ravens. Luke, we did you guys a little bit of a favor. We beat the Ravens.
Appreciate that.
Of course. Lamar pulled out some magic. There was a play where Von Miller, Rousseau had him down, escapes the sack. Milano has a pick, slips through his hands, and Devin Duvernay, of all people, gets a massive reception. But Buffalo is down 20-10 at halftime. The offense looked very bleak going into the half before that last drive. The defense was trying to keep them in the games, but when Devin Singletary is fumbling the ball, when your receivers can't catch the ball, and it's just not going well. I was even telling Vince, I would not be surprised if we got our asses whooped that game because everything was just going wrong. They couldn't catch. They couldn't
For those
run.
that don't know, the Dylan is a very negative person. I just want
I
to know
think
that.
realist.
During the game, he is like the most negative person ever. Like I swear. Like sometimes I really don't want to text him, but he my dog. But he is a very negative person during the game. Okay, just for those that don't know out there.
I'm a realistic person. You cannot tell me, because I went on Twitter. I saw the tweets from everybody. Nobody was optimistic going into halftime. Your receivers couldn't catch. Your running backs couldn't run. The weather was playing an impact, and you were down by 10. What part of that is you supposed to be optimistic about?
When you got 17 in the backfield, hey, it's always optimism out there, man.
Yeah, at some point, 17 can't be your number one running back and quarterback.
Tell that to the Ravens.
Hey, it wasn't just him. Hey, dude, yeah. You heard the man.
I mean, I guess that's valid. But Vince, that defense is very impressive by Buffalo. That is the third game now this year that they have not allowed a single point in the second half. The only person to have scored points in the second half against this Bills defense is Tua. Not the MVP candidate Lamar Jackson. Not the reigning number 1 seed Titans. Not the Super Bowl champions Rams. Tua. Tua.
No lies. Hey man, it's crazy. But defense, as long as they keep playing the way they're playing, we're gonna be good to go. So hopefully they keep that trend going this week. We'll see.
Okay. Now, because we want to focus on the Steelers game this week, because we do have our lovely guest here with Luke, let's just quickly go over the up, down, or sideways for the players that performed well, performed horribly, and how we're feeling about them going further on to the season. And I think you know who the first player has to be, Vince. And Luke, you can join along if you want as well, up, down, sideways. I don't know if you're going to know certain players. I don't know if you watched the game. But the first player we got to mention is Khalil Shakir. And I'm all the way up on Khalil. When his number was called, he made 2 massive plays in that game for Buffalo. His first catch goes for, 14 yards? Then he gets another huge catch when Josh Allen's breaking out of a sack, spins away, rolls to his left, and throws an absolute missile on the sideline. Khalil Shakir, Buffalo might not need to sign Odell Beckham because of Khalil, but it would be nice to have him with all the injury that's going on in the receiver room. Vince, how you feeling about Khalil?
I feel great about his club. I was probably one of the biggest people that was up on him when we drafted him. And I felt like he was going to be the steal of the draft. So his numbers getting called, and he got an opportunity to go out there and make more on it this Sunday. So, and I think he'll have plenty of opportunities because I don't really see McKenzie playing. Got a concussion. He'll probably take about a week or two off. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in the wide receiver room right now. But it is good that Gabe is getting healthy. So this should be real interesting on Sunday to see where this offense goes with Shakir as the slot receiver.
All right, Luke, you want any insight or you?
Oh man, all I know is this is going to be a very interesting football game.
I think we can just agree that the defensive line unit for the Buffalo Bills, you can say is trending up. There's not a person really who is like slacking or not pulling their weight. Everyone just seems to be clicking well. You have Vaughn, you have Rousseau, you have Jordan Phillips coming back, Ed Oliver coming back, Tim Settle, Daquan Jones. And then you have like the young guys too of like Epinesa and Boogie Basham. Now, Epinesa, I guess you could say, is the guy falling behind because he's really not doing anything. But in general, I'm up on the Bills' defensive line. Now, Vince might get a little crazy and say he wants 2 sacks per game from each player, wanting like 1,000 sacks this season.
You know it. It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop.
I'm just happy
2 sacks. Everybody. It don't have to be per week, but I just need 2 sacks from somebody. Somebody. Production. That's all I need. Production.
So you need 2 sacks a week from this team when this team had 40-something sacks last year. I think you got a little spoiled in week 1 when we had 7 sacks. I think you just got a little spoiled.
No, I didn't get spoiled at all. I just know what this front 7 looks like and what it's been. And it's been dominant. It just hasn't really produced a lot of sacks, except week 1. But they get into the quarterback. And that's all I want. I want quarterbacks to fear, even though they should already fear our defense. But, when you got Vaughn going out there, Greg Rousseau having one heck of a year, just wait till Ed come back, which I think he'll be back this week.
Yeah, he should be back this week, and so is Jordan Phillips. They're both training to play this week. All right, I think the final player that we can mention, Vince, I'll let you take this away because what's your Twitter name again?
Oh, everybody knows the Elam Penitentiary. It's trending how it's supposed to be. You already know I'm up on him. Been up on him since you drafted him. Just waiting for his opportunity. He's out there locking people up. Teams are already afraid to throw him.
Yeah,
I don't think people understand how big that is. In week 4, in week 5, we are already having our rookie corner not being thrown at. It's crazy.
I think the stat is what he's played 100. He's played 100 coverage snaps and has only allowed 50 yards. When targeted last week, he didn't allow a single yard. I mean, that's a scary thought when your rookie corner making like his first or second start is already not being tested. Not to mention, you have a certain all-pro corner coming back very soon. That duo.
I've already stated who CB2 should be. When Trey gets back, so
But that's the thing.
He just keeps proving it each and every week.
So, but that's the thing because Dane Jackson's earned that role as cornerback too. So where does Kyer go? Because you already have Taryn at the slot. Does Dane get put down, or does Kyer just what do you think there, Vince?
I mean, you got to look at it like this: if he keeps trending in the direction he is, I mean, I think, and if he cleans up what he's supposed to in the run game, because that's really the only reason why he hasn't started until now, because of injuries. But he cleans up what he's supposed to in the run game. I think you have no reason not to, make him CB2. Now, granted, yeah, Dane has earned that spot, but I mean, teams are gonna want to try to throw the ball on this, even though it's not a very fun, pretty sight for them. because when it comes to running the ball, we've done a pretty solid job stopping the run with this session last Sunday. That's gonna happen every now and then. You know, you're gonna play teams like the Ravens where the run is big, and that's what you got to focus on. But he looked good out there Sunday, and this week's gonna be even more interesting because you got number 8 back there, who is not afraid to throw the ball up. So
He let that bitch
I think
fly.
the opportunities are going to be there.
Yeah, he's gonna at least throw 2 interceptions. That's my guess.
The one thing I want to talk about with Kyer Elam, and then we will go into the preview for the Steelers game is, and I told this to Vince, yeah, the coverage stats are amazing, but there was one play that just stood out to me. And it was just this random, like, second or third down where Rashad Bateman catches a pass, and it's a high point ball. So, and Kyer Elam, seeing the way the receivers were catching the ball, he was ready to intercept the ball, and he was upset that the ball actually didn't go through Bateman's hands. He was anticipating it to go through it and him just walk into the end zone with a pick. And he showed that emotion because he was so ready to jump the ball and pick it. I just love the fact that he had that mentality of, like, you know what? That ball's going to go through his hands. I'm going to intercept it, and I'm going to take that to the house.
It's the intangibles, man. I told you on draft night. Intangibles. He's there. The IQ is insane.
I mean, like, Kyer Elam made a name for himself when drafted. He's pleading with Pagula and Bean, put the playbook on the plane. Like, when he got drafted, he wanted that defensive playbook on the plane so he could start learning the schemes and everything instantly. That's the kind of guy McDermott and Bean love. Ready to get to work from day one. But enough about the Ravens. Buffalo moves on to 3-1. We did the Steelers a favor. Now, if the Steelers can do us a favor and lose this game, that'd be great. But let's get into this preview. It is a matchup that last year the Buffalo Bills lost. But the major reason for that is because TJ Watt and Melvin Ingram. The Steelers will not have either one of those people today. The other big player that's missing for the Steelers is their future Hall of Fame quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. He played there last year. Granted, he didn't do much in the game against Buffalo, but that's a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's a big of a difference when you go from Hall of Fame quarterback to rookie quarterback making his first start in the NFL. Luke, how do you feel about this game going into it?
All right. So if you go back in history and look at Ben Roethlisberger's first start, it was against the number 1 pass defense in 2004. And Pickett comes in week 4. Or no, wait, this would be week 5. He comes in against the number 1 pass defense to start his very first NFL game. So I want to say the key to success is not throwing high balls to Chase Claypool that he's going to drop is definitely one of them. And audible out of some of Matt Canada's checkdowns, because that seems to be the problem of the offense not moving down the field. But,
okay, fair enough. I mean, you complain about your screen game and your checkdowns. We complain about our run game. Our run game is absent unless his name is Josh Allen. I think I checked the stats, and Josh Allen is the leading rusher for the Bills by 60 yards. So if Allen rushes for 0 yards, there's still a good chance he's still the leading rusher after this week. So just fun fact. Now, Luke, I saw this earlier today, and I want your comments about this because I sent this to Vince, and he and I just love that idea for the Bills at least. And maybe you can give some more insight on this, but as it stands right now, the Steelers could be without their whole starting secondary against Buffalo. Is that true?
Yep.
It was just defeated. Yep.
Because of the injury report today, they said that Minka will probably play.
Okay.
They don't know about Sutton. Witherspoon is out. And then I don't remember who they have listed behind Levi. I don't exactly know who it was, but I think Levi is playing.
I forgot Levi's on that team.
What about Levi? Oh, this is gonna be. Oh,
Forgot
yes,
about
well,
he gets to make his return to Buffalo. I don't know if he's gonna get a standing ovation because
Oh, hell no, he won't. Hell no, he won't.
It's
You
another
know,
story for
Josh
another
Allen's
time.
gonna be like this. Josh Allen's gonna be like this to Diggs or Davis, whoever's lined up against him. Cook him. Remember what he did to us in the divisional? He gave Kelsey the middle. Cook him. Cook him.
Hopefully he does that for Freiermuth. That would be nice. Maybe one of your guys will return the favor and
Oh God,
do it back. Maybe history will repeat itself. That'd be nice.
God.
But as long as he doesn't do that for your tight end, then we'll be good.
No, he won't do that to Dawson Knox. But what I fear for Levi Wallace is he was always a decent corner, but he was never good in the moment. Like when nobody was looking at him and like he would get a few targets here and there, he would mess up. But when he got spotlighted and he got targeted, he was exposed. And you saw that against teams like the Chiefs and the Bucks and everything like that. His scheme fit for Buffalo was just off. I don't know how he's playing for you guys this year, but last year you really saw the kind of like problem he was for the Bills defense.
I think he's only gotten a few snaps this year. I don't think he's been in much at all for like Levi Wallace, but like, I mean, he's not necessarily bad compared to Witherspoon getting shit on by Nelson Aguilar against the Patriots, but that's all right.
Wow,
He's not in, so.
So, Vince, knowing what we know about the possibilities of the Steelers being, let's even say, depleted at the secondary, because let's hope Minkah Fitzpatrick plays, but do you think that this would qualify for a trap game for Buffalo because of them, one being, I believe it was 14-point favorites. Yeah, 14-point favorites against the Steelers. They don't have all their starting secondary like we did against the Dolphins. Do you think that this could be a trap game for Buffalo?
No.
So
you might see it that way. You might see it that way. I don't.
So this has no possibility of being
There's
a trap
a difference. There's a difference between us not having 50 million people, us having 50 million people missing, and not getting exposed compared to, the Steelers not having half their freaking secondary. Minka being out there is, it's helpful, but those other guys, I just don't see how they match up compared to a healthy Diggs, pretty. Well, I'll probably say like 80% Gabe Davis, right now, and then Khalil Shakir. So,
Luke, how about you? Do you think that this could be a potential trap game for the Buffalo Bills?
My bias says yes. But if I'm being realistic, I think you guys win by at least 2 scores. As much as I want the Steelers to win, I don't see it happening. Maybe we improve drastically on offense, but defense, we are going to get demolished. Our strong safety is out. At least one of our corners is out. We are currently 0-7 without TJ Watt. Our run defense is kind of ass. We have.
We can't run the ball.
That's not true.
You will against
That's
us.
not true. You're gonna stop saying this nonsense, okay? It's not that we cannot run the ball. We choose not to run the ball. That's not the way the offense is built. We choose not to run the ball. If you listen to what Charles Davis said on Sunday, it's not it's not that we don't have a running game. It's the fact that we use the running backs in the passing game, which makes it a running game. Okay. Just because Josh Allen go out there and has 70 yards, fine. We're cool with that. But the Steelers say we don't got that running game. We choose not to run the ball.
Josh
choose not to run
Allen
the ball.
has accumulated.
We're not giving Devin real RB1 carries.
He
Like how many times do I have to go? It's everybody fumble every now and then. I'm not holding that fumble against him. There's wet conditions out there. Like what? I'm not holding that against him. As long as it's not like it was in the past. You remember how Singletary used to be in the past? He couldn't hold on to the ball for shit.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for you to.
He's not the same running back. He's already shown flashes that he can get the job done when you give him actual opportunity. Yeah, he had a mistake, but what did he do to make up for it? He went out there, caught some passes, and sealed the game for us. So you give him the opportunity to run the ball, he can get you somewhere. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. Like I said, I don't expect us to go heavy with the running back running the ball, but give him some opportunities, and I promise you, he'll make some happen.
All right,
It's better than your second option.
Zach Miss.
You want to go to him? You want to go to him?
To be fair, he hasn't fumbled.
All right, then.
He hasn't fumbled yet.
What you mean? He fumbled week 1.
That was Cook.
Zach Moss also fumbled too in that game. Do you not remember that?
Fuck it. Josh Allen run every time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just get our quarterback. Killed. Even though he likes getting roughed up.
He's throwing like bull.
know.
He'll be fine.
Let's keep moving.
So you think Singletary has the potential to do big things, right? Does he get 100 rushing yards today? And then I'll ask Luke the same question because he actually has a brain. So go ahead, Vince.
Will he get 100? No, he's not going to get 100. I hope he proves me wrong. That would be great. But I mean, you know who our fucking quarterback is. We're gonna sling the rock. So I'm not. What? Will you score a touchdown? Yes, he will score a touchdown. I'll tell you that.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will. All he has to do is run up the middle.
See?
That's great.
Who gets it?
Third down.
Who gets it?
3rd and 1. Run up the gut with Zach Miss. Who can see it coming?
No, he would not be the touchdown vulture. There would be no touchdown vulturing on Sunday, okay? All right? None of that.
So, Luke, do you think Devin Singletary gets over 100 yards today or this week?
No. I think he will be somewhat close. Probably like maybe 80.
Sounds
And
about right.
1 touchdown. But I think Allen will have a rushing and probably like 3 passing.
Okay. So that was gonna be my next question because Josh Allen is the only player in the NFL right now who have 100% of his team's offensive touchdowns. Do you guys think that continues this week?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it? It's Josh. You just
said Singletary getting a touchdown, so that would be why.
Yeah, but like, oh well, damn, I forgot about that. No, it's Singletary scoring today. So somebody else other than Josh is going to score on Sunday, okay? Someone other than him is going to score.
Right.
Like,
as of right now, that's a bold statement.
Hey, well, let it be bold.
Luke, what about you? Do you think Josh Allen is the only offensive player to score still?
No.
Right.
I think I mean, you'll probably score a total of like 5 touchdowns, I would assume. 3 passing for Allen, 1 rushing for Allen, and then 1 for Singletary. And we lose like 21-35, but and that's besides the point.
2 things. I think Josh Allen still continues to be 100% for the Bills offense because I think he'll be a touchdown vulture for Singletary. I can go run a read option and Josh Allen's going to do a little flick pass to Dawson Knox. Bookmark it. Also, Luke, do you really think a rookie quarterback is going to score 21 points against this Bills defense?
Yep.
That is a very bold statement, considering, in fact, the only team to score more than 21 points is the Dolphins, who did score 21 points.
There's this thing called garbage time touchdowns.
I mean, that's fair.
That's the thing. The thing is, when we get to garbage time, I don't. Nothing really happens as far as Buffalo. I mean, like when we had a lot of garbage time versus Tennessee, they didn't do much. So,
That's true.
I mean,
Now,
you know,
if Mitch was the starter, I think we score 3 points.
3 points for kissing titties? Really?
He is dog shit.
I respect it. I respect the Steelers fans. Love for Kenny Pickett. I want to see him succeed. Unfortunately, he just can't succeed this Sunday. Any other time, I would, be right there with you guys. But yeah, hey, I like the support he's getting there. Good for him.
I mean, to be fair, Buffalo was the same way with Josh Allen. Our quarterback was Nathan Peterman. So when it's really bad, you need the rookie to just show up and it's like, okay, this guy's amazing. Because a lot of people forget Josh Allen started the Chargers game week 2 of 2018 season and got our asses whooped. A lot of people think like the Vikings game was his first start. But it wasn't.
No.
How good would you guys rank your special teams play?
I don't know. We don't get to see it a lot.
I mean, that's fair
Top tier.
enough.
We don't really
Top
get
tier,
to see it.
even though it's in limited spots. Top tier.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. But we have a new returner this week for the first time this season. Getting rid of Gunnar Olszewski. It is Steven Sims, who I think he didn't have like 3 touchdowns in the preseason, but he had like I want to say like 30-something yards every return.
Okay.
So hopefully he puts us in good field position. I doubt it. I doubt it's constant, but maybe.
I mean, with Buffalo, it comes down to like Tyler Bass against the Ravens for some reason kept kicking it to Duvernay instead of kicking it out of the end zone. And I think Duvernay only made him pay like what was it, once, like across the 30. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they attack Olszewski because he was he an All-Pro returner a year or two ago?
Yep, when he was on the Patriots, he was.
So like it will be interesting to see how they attack him. Let's see. All right, let's go deeper into a preview. Luke, since you're our guest, who is one player? And let's not say Kenny Pickett. Let's try to get a little spicy here. Who's one player on the Steelers who has to step up to get a win against the Bills?
Devin Bush.
Okay.
100% Devin Bush. He cannot tackle. He, I think, has missed probably 7 or 8 tackles that would have kept people from getting a first down, and they then went on to get another like 5 to 8 yards. So he's definitely one that needs to improve. And then for offense, gotta get Deontay more involved. So we have, last week it was the Pat Freiermuth and Pickens show. Hopefully this week we see some Deontay mixed in. Maybe we see some. We better see some Najee. I doubt he gets over 100 rushing yards, but probably close to 50.
It's going to be interesting for Najee Harris because Derrick Henry, when he was the vocal point for Buffalo's defense, he got 25 yards. So I don't know if Deontay or Freiermuth is going to be more of a target, especially with a rookie quarterback. They might try to stop Freiermuth more, but it's going to be interesting to see how they attack Najee Harris.
Yeah,
they're going to be slinging the rock. So I'm going to be real with you. Pittsburgh won't be running the ball that much. They're not. Because them trying to give. I mean, the attempts that not. I mean, I think he'll get a good amount of attempts, but I don't think he'll do much with him. Because
Yeah.
going up against Najee is a little different compared to facing that Ravens run
Yeah.
offense. So
I mean, Kenny Pickett is the first rookie to ever rush for 2 touchdowns in his first game, I believe it was, as a quarterback. So they do have that option to do pull and reads and such like the Ravens did, just not at the level of the Ravens. But
It was also the Jets.
that is true. So, Luke, how motivated do you think the Steelers team is going to be after a loss to the Jets? Because you see someone like Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's a leader of that defense, say it sucks losing to teams that we're better than. Do you think they're going to have a little extra motivation coming into this week?
Yeah. So I think the defense is going to be very good for the first half of the game because they'll still be energized because they won't be on the field 90% of the time like they were last week. Shout out Mitch Trubisky. But Kenny definitely needs to find his flow quickly and just keep at it. I mean, if we look at what he did last week, yes, he had 3 interceptions, but if you actually break it down and look at them, the first interception was a 50-50 ball to Claypool. Claypool didn't extend his arms and pretty much handed it to the defender.
Wow.
The interception on Fryer was, he even said in the post-game interview, he said that it was supposed to be a throwaway, but he didn't throw it high enough. And Freiermuth went up and tried to catch it and obviously tipped it into a defender's hand. And then the third interception was a Hail Mary, so I don't really count that. But passing-wise, if you take those away, every single pass that he threw, except for the Hail Mary, touched a Steelers wide receiver's hands.
That's fair.
If you take those away, he was 10 for 10.
Okay.
So hopefully he does good. But,
Okay, Vince. Let me ask you that same question. Who on Buffalo's end, who obviously is not like, the big name players, would have to step up to secure the win against the Steelers?
Khalil Shakir.
I feel like that was the obvious choice.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious there. I could have said Terrence Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Could have went there. But I think it's easily Khalil Shakir. This is more going to be a focus on the offense more than the defense because I think we all know the defense people do what they do best. So I expect a very solid, high volume day for Khalil. Because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for him in that game. And I know on Pittsburgh side, they're going to focus heavy on Diggs. And Gabe didn't get his opportunities too, but I think Khalil Shakir is going to get lost in the shuffle, which is going to open him up for a big day.
Yeah, I mean, Khalil Shakir is the obvious choice here. He might be pulling double duty because they don't have Tavon Austin anymore. They agreed to mutually part ways. Khalil might be pulling double duty with kick return, punt return, and wide receiver. So it's actually triple duty because I don't know who else would be fielding punts. Because Micah Hyde is usually their punt returner in emergencies. And that's not happening. Marquez Stevenson's still on IR. Is Khalil really going to be doing triple duty?
Probably. I know Sal was talking about that earlier today on practice.
Yeah, I just thought of that because I'm like, Crowder's usually the punt returner.
Yeah, he ended up going to the stadium, I guess, to practice the field and punts and stuff. So.
It makes a lot of sense because McKenzie's your kick returner. Crowder's your punt returner, and now you are missing both of them, so he's gonna have to pull triple duty. That's gonna be interesting. So maybe he might not have a big game. He might be tired. We'll see. But I think Khalil Shakir is the obvious. So, all right. Let's get a little wild and a little spicy. Let's do our bold predictions now. Before we do our score predictions, before we do anything else, let's do our bold predictions now. Take it away. Anyone want to start?
Luke is the guest. Luke can go first. This is Luke's prime segment right here.
All right. So, bold prediction. Could also say dumb prediction. Steelers win by a field goal. Another bold prediction is the game might go into overtime. And then you guys will probably just, shit on us, but that's fine. The boldest prediction is Pickett throws more touchdowns than interceptions.
Okay.
I feel like that would be bold, only because, it's your guys' defense against a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. Vince, you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Go ahead, my brother.
Kyrie Elam gets his first interception in the NFL.
All right. See, now
and
what? This is what we doing now? This is what we doing? Get out my head, bro. Get out my head. Get out my head. It's okay. I had a backup for that. So go ahead. Finish. I had a backup.
He's not the only rookie who gets his first interception. I think Tremaine Edmonds will be inactive this week as a precautionary tale, and I think Terrell Bernard also gets an interception. You want to pull down sunglasses a little bit more?
Wasn't expecting that one. You think Tremaine not playing?
Prediction.
Yeah, that is bold. So you saying Tremaine is not playing this week? Is that what you're saying?
As a precaution, yes.
Well, I know his brother's not playing.
Exactly. Why play when your brother can't?
Hey, yo. That's really interesting. All right. There you have it, guys. You heard it there first. Yeah, the defense will have 6+ sacks. You heard it here first. 6+ sacks, man. 6+ sacks for the defense. It's happening. Defense going crazy. Numbers going up.
Now, let me ask you.
And on top of that, Khalil Shakir has a 100-yard receiving day.
Okay. So let me ask you this question first, Vince, and then I have a follow-up question for Luke. Who are getting these 6 sacks? If you had to divide them, if everyone in the family had to get a piece of the pie, who's getting it?
Greg getting 2. Vaughn getting 1. Let's say, you know what? The superstar from last week gets him 1. But Matt Milano. Well, that's 4. I'm gonna say somebody from the interior will get 1. So I'm gonna go with Tim Settle. Actually, you know what? We go with Ed Albert because I think Ed Albert. Go with Ed Albert. And then you know what? Some wild sack will happen because somebody from the secondary come to get it.
Okay.
DeMar Hamlin.
6 sacks for the Bills defense. Luke, how is the Steelers' offensive line this year?
Well, surprisingly, every week they've been getting better. As a unit. Dan Moore's kind of still suspect, but I don't know if Dotson is fully healthy. I didn't see him on the injury report, but he was for like a day or two last week. But he should be fine. Center might be the problem this week. I mean, we have Mason Cole, but it's Mason Cole. So there's a reason he's not a big game player.
So, Luke, do you agree with Vince's bold prediction that they will get 6 sacks?
I don't think it'll be 6.
That over, man.
I think it'll be in the 4 to 5 range.
Von Miller on the stunt, you know.
I honestly, I think Von gets 3 of them, but
Vonathan gets 3.
That's even the more than. You know what? We actually need that. Matter of fact, whoever's guarding Von, can y'all just let him just sack Kenny Pickett all day? Because I got a bet on that. So right now he's at like what 3? I think he's at 3 sacks. Through the first 4 weeks. It's good. I'm cool with that. But I'll take 2, maybe 3. Stack up those totals. Man,
so how is
it's coming, man.
How's your O line?
It's good in the run. In the pass game. In the run game, it's awful. Like dead last.
It's because we're running to the wrong side. That's why we're running to the wrong side. The right side sucks. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. The left side is just tremendous. It's awesome.
Any side we run, it sucks. We have no run game.
Boo. How about that?
And then tight end for you guys is Knox playing.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah,
all right. So
he's on the injury report, but
here's what I think your guys' game plan is. It's probably going to be similar to Cleveland's. Obviously not as run heavy, but passing wise, you're going to target the middle of the field a lot. Because Devin Bush sucks.
Yeah, those guys.
I mean, if you look at what happened with Njoku, every time he caught the ball, it was over the middle.
That is true.
Being covered by Devin Bush. So, I don't know. I think you see a 100-yard game from Knox for sure.
Interesting.
And I think Diggs will probably, obviously be good.
I mean, I was able to go on DraftKings yesterday or 2 days ago, and there was a bet I could have placed that George Pickens and Stephon Diggs combined for 200 receiving yards. And my coworker told me not to take it. I'm like, why? Diggs all Pickens has to do is get like 50. And he didn't agree with that. So
I love George Pickens, but that's not happening.
That he's not getting 50?
No.
Jesus.
I love George Pickens. I wish he was with us. He was with us. He had like 1,500 receiving yards, But
so how many yards do you think our offense is going to get?
I'll let Vince handle that because he's the one that says the bold statements.
It sounds like under 100.
210.
210. All right.
I think it's a very generous number.
Who do you think the main receiver is going to be?
Whoever Kyer is starting.
Yeah. Who? I mean, I think Dane's probably going to get targeted heavily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. But you know what? With Kitty, I won't be surprised because Kitty go take shots. So I think so. Like I said, it's going to be at least 2 picks. I hate to tell you, but 21 is getting one of them. He's just a ball hawking, machine. Yeah. Wait, was you talking about total offense, or you talking about passing wise?
Passing for the Steelers.
Oh, passing. Passing. Let me trickle that number down. Just,
Jesus.
I thought we were talking about totals here. Passing 160. I say 160. I think 160.
I'll take
it's gonna be a high volume of
ain't garbage time. I'm gonna say 240. 240, bro.
No one's even past 230 against us.
Garbage time.
Still, what garbage time with Matthew Stafford didn't go that well, did he? Not did it?
I don't know. He just kept feeding Cooper Kupp.
Hey, you know what? We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. Everyone knows who follow me on Twitter has gets the agenda. Okay, all right. The agenda still stands. It always stands. It's taking people a whole year now to realize what's going on out there. But that's another story for another day.
Okay, guys.
Shout out Cooper Kupp for my fantasy team.
Oh wait, speaking of your
Cooper
fantasy,
Kupp.
how'd that go last week?
You know, because Matthew Stafford decides to, dip his chips in one dip. It's unfortunate, and he also likes to give out apple turnovers. That go for 6. So that's what happened.
Who'd you lose to again?
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. We're gonna bounce back. We're gonna win again. Don't worry. We'll see you down the road eventually. But enjoy.
Oh, you lost to me. Yeah, that's a problem for you. You always lose to me in fantasy. Damn.
Hey, who's number 1 in our league right now?
That is true. We are in the presence of a first place holder of the league. Bow down to Luke.
I don't know how, but
before we forget, I don't know if y'all know. Today is a very national holiday. It's a big holiday. I think we all have to say it at the same time. 3, 1.
Scissor me. Oh my god.
It doesn't matter, man. It's the greatest day of all time. Greatest day of all time. Greatest day of all time. National Scissor Day, man. Doesn't get any better.
I mean, I'm still mad at my coworker who gave me COVID, and I missed the Scissor Me Daddy Chance ass at Grand Slam. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
But I mean, it's National Scissoring Day. Make sure you tell the people you love you want to scissor them. Hey, whenever you have a girlfriend and you want to propose to them, that's how you tell the dad. Scissor me, daddy. There you go. You wear the t-shirt, everything. Boom. No.
Yeah. I gotta get the merch. We're working on that. We're working on. We're gonna debut it on the show one.
I swear to God, if you buy a Scissor Me Daddy ass shirt,
Yeah.
I swear to God, bro.
I can rock that and be very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can rock that. Be comfortable.
I want that to be the profile pic on all your dating apps. That you wearing that t-shirt.
Oh, that just that t-shirt. Oh, that's no problem. Just that t-shirt. No problem.
No.
Get all the hoes, man. All of them.
Get all the hoes in the Scissor Me Daddy ass shirt. Well,
Nothing
Lamar
else.
Jackson is getting some help, and Andy Isabella is going to the Ravens.
That's a very odd signing. Well, hey, look, congratulations to him, man.
What?
So let's go into our score predictions for this game. Luke had a laugh about this. So Luke, I want you to go first.
32-21. Buffalo wins.
Okay, we won by 11.
If it goes the other way, 24-21, which I don't see happening. But
24-21. All right, Vince, what's your score prediction?
Give me 35. 35-3.
What was that last number?
35 to 3.
To 1, 2.
oh my god.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to be a little more generous. I'm going to say 38-17.
Hey, one of these weeks is gonna hit, and it's gonna be a very fun when one of those hits. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't predict the shutout. I'm surprised you didn't predict the shutout.
I'm being nice. I'm being nice. I mean, it's possible.
Nice.
You know.
Three.
At
At least I gave him 17.
That's nice. At least they scored. Let's say score. I mean, hey, we're gonna shut out somebody eventually. I don't know when. Would it be? Would it nice for it to be this week? Yeah, but I mean, I don't really think.
There's another team in our
They're gonna give
division
up
I think
something.
you're going to shut out.
There's a team in your division who's going to get shut out.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I know where he's going with that.
They play in Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
Cleveland. Yeah, we're talking about.
Cincinnati.
We probably will shut them down. I'm not gonna lie, because all they know how to do is run the ball.
Cincinnati going to get shut out.
Their O-line sucks worse than ours does.
I'm gonna be what? Hey, that's actually not bad. But see, you got to think about it. We don't play them till like week 16. So that's and it's on Monday night. So who knows what they'll be looking like by then.
Yeah, Burrow will be all beat
Shut
up.
out.
He'll probably get sacked 60 times.
Probably will. I thought he would say Cleveland. I think we can shut out Cleveland. I think we can shut out Cleveland because
Maybe.
there'll still be no Deshaun Watson by then. So.
That's true. I really thought Vince was going to predict a shutout.
Nah, man. I'm a nice guy.
You nice
Stand-up
guy.
guy, man.
All right. We recapped the Ravens game. We previewed the Steelers game. Now let's talk about something more serious in the NFL. There's two stories that I want to cover. Obviously, one is a little more lighthearted than the other. The first is Cole Beasley, former Buffalo Bills wide receiver, saw Tom Brady's life crumbling and said, "Fuck out of here. I'm out. Peace. I'll actually go home to my family. I'll be a good father and a good husband, unlike you, Tom. Take a note." But
sometimes it
hired
looks,
in the NFL. So, Tom Brady's downfall's happening. That's another news. We all prayed for it. It's just a little too late, 45 years old.
So what?
I prayed for this shit. I prayed for him to get the voice.
I hate Tom, but hey man, the man going through a divorce. Come on, man. The man going through some things, man.
I don't give a damn.
At his old age, man. He's going through some things. It happens.
Vince,
I was never pray on the man downfall.
Before the Bills would play the Patriots, I would pray, Giselle, please leave his ass. Leave him depressed so he can't play this week or beat us at least. Please. I would always pray for Giselle to leave his ass. She's finally smart enough. Thank you.
Oh,
but let's talk about the serious issue going on with the NFL, and that is player safety. The Miami Dolphins are really endangering Tua Tagovailoa. You see how they handled him against the Bills. He was wobbling. And the NFL has a term of no-go. That was the clear signs of no-go. And then the next week, 4 days later, he goes up against the Bengals, gets stretchered out of the arena. He's being told by neurologists and neuroscientists that you should not play football anymore. If you're going to play football, not for the rest of the year or for the Dolphins ever again. This is a serious issue, and the scapegoat of this whole situation was the doctor that the Dolphins went to, who was an exterior doctor and approved Tua, but he made mistakes. Like, what is your guys' opinion of this whole situation with Tua and the Dolphins and his injuries?
It's a very tough situation. And it's been handled probably the worst fashion you could probably handle this type of situation. Because when you see what happened to him about a week and a half ago when he played Buffalo. Granted, the push was it wasn't extreme, but his head did bounce off the floor in a very odd manner. And when he got up, he was not. I don't know. Most people wouldn't be playing football after that. They would have been done for that game. But the fact that he came in the second half and finished the game just didn't make any sense. And it's wild. So, and then you turn around and you have a short week and you play him 4 days later, put him in even more danger. So it looks right now it looks very bleak for the NFL because basically what you're telling fans and the players is that you guys aren't caring about the safety of these guys. Because these guys go out there and put in the hard work to be able to put on a show for us as fans. And this game is dangerous, and those that have played it understand how dangerous it can be. So um, they got to do better, and hopefully they figure out a better way to be able to focus more on this, because it is a dangerous game that they're playing right
You said it exactly right. You said a key word here that I want to prioritize: game. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Yes, this is a game that's going to be paying you a lot of money if you're good at it. But it's a game. They are playing with this man's life for a game. And this is not okay. This is not a Bills fan talking. This is not a Steelers fan. This is legitimate NFL fans saying that this is a problem, that the man on Sunday is wobbling off the field, can barely stand without his offensive lineman helping him up. And then he is stretchered out on Thursday, motionless, because of your ineptitude to look at player safety. Why the NFL did not step in here and say he cannot play? Why the Dolphins approved him to play 4 days later? The fact that there was still an opportunity for him to play this coming Sunday against the Jets is ridiculous. Because Mike McDaniel said if he can play, he'll start. Teddy Bridgewater will be the starter if Tua cannot play. If. So basically saying, yeah, if he looks like he can throw a football, he's going to play, which is just not okay in the slightest. It's week 5. This is your franchise quarterback, and you're playing with this kid's life. Luke, what are your comments about this situation?
All right. So you know that the doctor that talked to him and told him never to play football again is definitely a legitimate doctor, because he was the doctor that did research for the 2015 movie Concussion. If you've seen that movie,
yeah,
he did all the CTE research and all that stuff for that. So you know he's credible, and he's a credible source and everything like that. Which a lot of people on Twitter didn't seem to understand. They were like, "Oh, he's just another doctor." No, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
but yeah, he definitely should not have went back into the game, and he shouldn't have played the next game either. There were definitely telltale signs, especially for the first game when he got hit. When you get up and shake your head, like you got your bell rung, that's not a back injury. That's a head injury. That is head trauma. And the worst thing is, obviously, he got knocked unconscious in the Bengals game, and he did what's called posturing, which happens when you have a severe brain injury and you have a concussion and get knocked out. Your arms will get stuck, and you'll be stiff. We saw something not as bad, but similar to this with Donald Parham last year. Against the Chiefs, he knocked himself out in the back of the end zone.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
And they showed it on TV, which they did the same thing with Tua, which drove me nuts. They kept showing the replay over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's the one thing with the NFL. They have a very bad problem with that, especially with these crazy injuries like that. They have a very bad problem of continuously showing it. Like we get it. We understand what's happening. I don't think you really got to keep showing the severity of it. I mean, I think we can see how severe the injury is. So.
Yeah. We don't need to see 900 replays of the same thing over and over again, and then have it be like the next quarter and they still show it.
Yeah. It was tough to see live. It was tough to see the first, second, and 15,000 replay of it. No matter how many times you see it, it's not going to be easy to see. And it's also what you see about it. It's just like not only the fact that Tua got hurt, but the players in the league were outraged that he was playing. The amount of tweets I saw from people in the division, like Patriots and I've seen so many tweets about the fact that he should not have been playing. And the NFLPA is going to go about it and investigate, but like, there's nothing you can investigate now. He suffered 2 head injuries in a matter of 4 days. One neuroscientist said that it could kill him. So, like, this is not an easy manner, and this is not me making fun of the Dolphins or Dolphins fans, but like, you guys need to shut up. The Dolphins fans are the only fan base I've ever seen think they know more than doctors and scientists who studied this field. Just because you want to win a fucking game, it's not that worth it. This man is putting his health on the line. He seizured up on a football field because your team felt that he was okay enough to play after 4 days of another head injury. This is not okay. The NFL really needs to look into this, because at some point, players are just going to be like, it's not worth it. That's why you see players like Calvin Johnson, Luke Kuechly retire at age 30 because they suffered so many concussions. It wasn't worth it for them anymore. Best of their position when they retired, they just walked away because their health is more important than a stupid game. And I fear that it's going to take someone like Tua being that sacrificial lamb and legitimately dying on the field because he suffers a 3rd head injury in a certain amount of time, and he just dies on the field until the NFL really takes notice of player safety. And it's sickening. But I felt like we needed to at least talk about this situation because it is a hot topic in the NFL. You guys have any closing remarks or closing statements before we end the show?
Shout out to J.J. Watt.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He literally went into AFib and pretty much restarted his heart and then played football the next day, which is absolutely wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
Prayers out to J.J. Watt. Prayers out to Tua Tagovailoa. Look, again, your health is more important than a game. J.J. Watt, I don't know how you were even able to be active this past week, but I'm so glad that you were able to play because I know you love this game more than anything else. But at some point, you just got to, step away. Vince, any closing remarks?
Yeah, man. Another great show in the books. Luke, we appreciate you coming out for this. Yeah, prayers over to it, man. Hopefully he can make a speedy recovery, because I hate to see these type of injuries. And hopefully the NFL can correct or especially do better in these type of situations. And yeah, and then everybody go out there and enjoy Sunday, have fun. Some interesting games. I know Week 5 starting tomorrow night with the Colts and Broncos. So I don't know how much of that game I'll be watching. We'll see. But this weekend should be some enjoyable games. Everybody go out there and have fun.
Yeah, and I just want to thank Luke as well for being on the show. You were part of the Go to Mafia Report family, and that is for life, like the NWO. And as always, we got to end the show with a Go Bills.
Go Bills.